Two young girls died tragically in Hexham, 1957. A year later, their parents give birth to twin girls. Never predicted. Point 1 bears a birthmark matching her dead sister's injury. Both name toys they've never seen. Recall towns they've never visited. And then they cry when a black car passes by. Could a soul return inside a different body? And if so, does it carry pain too?
Welcome to THN Mystery. This is not a place for the curious. This is a place for those who need to know. Even if knowing means you'll never sleep again. We don't make things up. We retell what has already happened. Forgotten cases, shadows in history, and things that were never meant to be spoken of. If you believe in reason, prepare to let it go. If this is exactly what you've been looking for, then you're in the right place. Like and subscribe to the channel and join us as we step into another chapter of darkness. Now turn off the lights and enjoy. Case file: The Spirits in Two Bodies. Part 1. Tragedy on the streets of Hexham. The peaceful town of Hexham was jolted awake on the morning of May 7, 1957, by a horrific accident. Two sisters, Joanna, 11, and Jacqueline Pollock, 6, were walking to church with a friend when a black car lost control and plowed into them. All three children fell in pools of blood. Only the friend survived with serious injuries. Joanna died instantly. Jacqueline, though still breathing, passed away en route to the hospital. The driver, a local woman, was in the midst of a mental breakdown after losing custody of her children. She claimed she had heard a voice calling from the rearview mirror, compelling her to step on the gas. She was later committed to a psychiatric hospital, where she repeatedly screamed, "I was just a vessel. They called me. They called me from beyond." John and Florence Pollock, the girls' parents, were crushed by despair. Florence became distant, often staring silently out the window for hours. John, a Catholic who had secretly believed in reincarnation, since youth began to pray fervently for a miracle to see his daughters again in any form. Part 2. The Shadows Return. 1 year after the tragedy, Florence became pregnant. Though doctors detected only a single heartbeat on October 4, 1958, she gave birth to twin girls, Jillian and Jennifer. There was no history of twins in either family line. To John, this anomaly was a sign. Something unexplainable was unfolding. From infancy, the girls displayed strange traits. Jennifer had 2 birthmarks, one on her forehead, exactly where Jacqueline had been injured in a bicycle accident, and one on her waist, identical to her late sister's birthmark. Florence was deeply shaken. She had never mentioned the specific details of Jacqueline's marks to anyone. Part 3. Memories from the Void. At 2 years old, the twins began to exhibit uncanny behaviors. One day, while cleaning out storage, John and Florence found an old toy box that had belonged to Joanna and Jacqueline. The girls had never seen it before, yet they immediately identified the items by name. "This is my doll, Florence, and that dress was Joanna's, but I'll wear it now." Florence stood frozen. The names, the ownership, all were accurate. The toys were divided exactly as the deceased girls had once done. When asked how they knew, Jillian simply shrugged. "We used to play with them, in the house with the green door." John drew a map of Hexham, a place the twins had never visited, and asked them to point things out. Jennifer accurately identified Jacqueline's old school. Jillian recognized a park, a bakery, and even the wall where Joanna had once tripped, chasing a friend. But most disturbing were the nightmares. Jennifer would wake up screaming, "The car! It's coming again! Blood! Blood in my eyes!" Another night, Florence overheard her whispering in her sleep, "We were pulled down, but now I know the way back." Part 4. Echoes that won't fade. The twins began showing more eerie signs. Jillian, like Joanna once had, loved painting landscapes, particularly churches with red domes. Jennifer obsessively lined up her toys in straight rows, mimicking the scene of the accident. Both girls cried when they saw black cars. Once, while passing Hexham Cemetery, Jennifer clutched her mother's hand and said, "We were here, underneath, but now we're above." Jillian recalled unsettling specifics. "Joanna didn't like brushing her hair, did you know? You used to scold her for tangles, but you always kissed her forehead at bedtime. John, once desperate for a miracle, now feared what he had wished for. He often stood silently by the window, murmuring, 'If spirits truly return, do they carry pain with them?'" Part 5. Doors closed and opened. Dr. Ian Stevenson, a renowned researcher of reincarnation, visited the Pollock family several times. He took meticulous notes, comparing the twins' statements to documented events, and concluded, "This is among the strongest cases of past life memory ever recorded." However, by age 5, the memories of the previous life began to fade. Jillian and Jennifer gradually forgot the old names, the blood-soaked dreams, and the familiarity with Hexham. Yet John believed this wasn't an end. It was the soul, fulfilling its unfinished journey. One winter night, Florence dreamed of Joanna and Jacqueline standing by the window, smiling. When she asked, "Why did you return?" one of them replied, "We had not been buried in memory. Now we are." Part 6. Questions without answers. Can souls carry memories across lifetimes? Are birthmarks remnants of a past death? Can past life memories be verified by science? And if reincarnation is real, have we all lived and died before? The case is closed, but echoes from the past may still linger. You've just heard a true story, or at least the piece of the truth, but what you just heard might still be happening somewhere out there. This is THN Mystery, where every shadow leaves a trace. Let us know your thoughts on the story, or tell us what you want to hear next. See you again, if you still dare to